A celebration of Maryland's Black history, a history filled with the stories of innovators, activists, and barrier breakers. A race car driver bringing diversity to the track, an activist who helped spread Dr. Martin Luther King's message from a Birmingham jail, and a clinical practitioner who modernized patient care. Fanny Gaston Johanson was the first African-American woman to be tenured full professor at Hopkins University, and Lisa Robinson spoke to those who knew her well about her contributions.
Dr. Johanson was an incredible researcher, visionary, and a very strategic thinker and planner.
Dr. Phyllis Sharps is a professor emerita at the Johns Hopkins University School of Nursing. She was a friend and colleague of Dr. Fanny Gaston Johanson, who was the first African-American woman to be a tenured full professor at Johns Hopkins University, blazing a trail for those after her.
It meant that it was possible, and that people were eager to, faculty were eager to be mentored, could review her CV, could review her scholarship and her research to see how it was done.
Martha Hill is the retired dean of the Johns Hopkins University School of Nursing. She recruited Johanson to Hopkins.
She had been mentored beautifully by prior African-American leaders in nursing. They saw her as a future leader, and she came beautifully prepared and thrived in this complex environment.
Johanson was a member of the Hopkins nursing faculty from 1993 until her retirement in 2014. She focused her research on health disparities, pain management, end-of-life care, and coping strategies for women diagnosed with breast cancer. She is known for developing the Painometer,
which would help patients describe to their caregiver, the nurse or the physician, the level of their pain and the kind of pain. She had the foresight to have her instrument patented, so that meant no one else could use it or would have to work with her if they wanted to modify it.
I think that integrating science into the care of patients is extremely important for the best care.
She met her husband in Sweden while a young exchange student. They married. While raising 5 children and working full-time, she earned her PhD from the University of Gothenburg.
Fanny helped us grow. She helped us recruit. She mentored doctoral students of all sizes, shapes, and colors. And she was a leader in that sense because she walked the walk.
While working as a full professor at Hopkins, she simultaneously served as a dean at the University of Gothenburg.
She did the transcontinental work in Sweden. Imagine a young woman from anywhere in Southeast United States becoming completely fluent in Swedish, doing a doctoral dissertation in Swedish. She had a capacity for language and for productivity.
When I look at my CV, I said, and I did all of that. I guess I had help too. I mean, people were supportive. Kids were supportive. So it was a family here. And I think that helped.
A superwoman and trailblazer, Fanny Gaston Johanson. Lisa Robinson, WBAL, TV 11 News.
Great story, Lisa. Well, 60 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote his famous letter from Birmingham jail, but he did not bring that letter to life by himself. Our Brianna Ross introduces us to the Maryland woman who helped to piece it all together as we know it today.
Miss Willie Pearl Mackey King never figured her name would be etched in history.
Absolutely not.
And yet, at the bottom of the last page of the famous letter from Birmingham jail,
MLK WM, Willie Mackey.
Those are her initials, written in ink on the 1963 letter seen by countless eyes, one of the most famous documents of the civil rights movement.
I think it was a divine intervention. I think it was something that was already planned for my life.
Miss Mackey King was born in the 1940s in Glenwood, Georgia. She grew up in deep poverty.
No electricity, no indoor plumbing, nothing like that. It's embarrassing, but I probably was 13 years old when I got my first toothbrush because we used the bath cloth and baking soda.
But still, she graduated high school, moved to Atlanta right after. In 1962, she stumbled upon a secretary position with the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. She was 21 when she landed the job, and only then did she learn what the civil rights movement was all about.
I was reading these brochures talking about this man, Martin Luther King Jr. I read about the SNCC movement. I read about the sit-ins and what have you. That was my first introduction to the civil rights movement.
Miss Mackie King got a front row seat to the movement. Through her hard work, she earned the opportunity to travel with Dr. King. She went with him to Birmingham as he worked with local partners to hold nonviolent demonstrations, protesting segregation in the city.
I saw Dr. King's strength and the fact that he said, you know, you ought to have something in life worth dying for. I said, but not at my age. I'm too young for this. He said, if you want to go back to Atlanta, I would have no problems with that because you may lose your life on this movement and on this trip. So I cried a little bit, but I decided since Dorothy Cotton and Wyatt and the rest of them was staying, I was going to stay also. So I stayed.
Because she stayed, Miss Mackie King witnessed the moment police arrested Dr. King and took him to jail. That same day, 8 ministers published a newspaper article condemning Dr. King's demonstrations as, quote, unwise and untimely. The letter struck a nerve, and Dr. King was determined to respond, even without a notepad in his jail cell.
He started to write on the edges of that newspaper. Then he wrote on toilet paper, greasy sandwich bags, paper napkins, and anything that he could find to write on.
Dr. King's lawyer took the fragmented pieces of paper straight to Miss Mackie King and her boss, Wyatt T. Walker. Together, they pieced together the puzzle of Dr. King's words.
There was no order, and they came in at different times. So it was one of the most difficult assignments I guess I've ever had.
But Miss Mackie King was determined. She used a typewriter to type all 20 pages of Dr. King's words, a message that still rings true today.
What do you want people to remember about the letter from Birmingham jail?
You need to take a stand. You can't sit back and wait for someone else to do your job.
Miss Mackie King certainly did not sit back and wait, and that's why her name is etched in history. I'm Brianna Ross, WBAL TV 11 News.